place in this room. Father, I thank you that today, Lord, you're about to speak. You're going to speak clearly to us today, God, that I thank you for, and there's some money releasing today. I thank you, Father. I caught that. God, I thank you for the wealth that's being released in this room today. Lord, I thank you for the increase. And God, let them know that they are worthy of this increase. God, help them to not reject the increase that you're getting ready to release in this room today. Lord, I pray that today, Lord, they would have the boldness to make some bold decisions, that they would no longer disqualify themselves from these decisions, God, but that they would know that they are worthy. And they're not worthy because I'm saying they're worthy because you already said they're worthy. And so, Father, as I speak today, I thank you, Lord. Let it be you. Let them see you. Let them know you in a whole new way. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. So I know one of the things that she asked y'all was, man, what has God done so far? Has anybody noticed a shift so far? That as we have been in this challenge, have you noticed a shift? I know for me, like, I got to tell y'all some testimonies because, man, I've noticed such a shift in my own life and opportunities. Man, I got the opportunity to now, on a regular basis, I get to collaborate with one of the top podcasts in the world. And they are now bringing me on to now we're going to start doing this reoccurring special. And so God opened up that opportunity. And I'll be honest, even though, going live and talking in this space doesn't make me nervous, I get nervous when I go on podcasts. I'm like, this is for the birds. And so when I have to do them, I get really, but man, God opened up that opportunity. Man, today, y'all, I get to buy my husband his first vending machine for his vending machine business. The man who put me on, the man who literally worked and allowed me to be a stay-at-home mama chasing her dreams. He paid for my coaching. He paid for my inventory. And the same person who believed in me and invested in me, today I get to give that back to him. And that's what I'm talking about. And so, today, so y'all, his first vending machine will get delivered this weekend. And I want to tell my husband's testimony because my husband, he's Hispanic. He comes from, you work a job, not that you don't do business, you work jobs, right? Jobs are secure, they're safe. But and me and Elijah for years, we struggled in our marriage because he had a job mentality and I had a business mentality. And I couldn't understand why he wanted to do his avenue. He couldn't understand why I wanted to do mine. And it caused conflict. But then all of a sudden, God began to shift him. And he started to realize that jobs can pay bills, but it's in our business that we're going to be able to leave that legacy of freedom to our kids. You can't pass down somebody else's vision. So I have businesses. Because the Bible says a good man or woman leaves an inheritance for his children. So you saying, oh, I'm a good person. Well, God said good is one who leaves an inheritance. So if you ain't doing nothing to create an inheritance, who are you good and who's standard? I'm here for legacy. So so he began to renew his mind. And, you know me, I study mindset. I know manifestation. I know, all these different avenues and things like that. And I've had to study so many things to become who I am and to be able to get wisdom and knowledge. And I've studied on business and so many different things. And last year, my husband, he started studying on business. He started learning about how his mind works. I'm like, baby, you are married to a woman who teaches mindset all day long. Like, baby, just come sit on the couch. I will help you. You know what I mean? Like, come on. But we have to understand that even though, ladies, in our marriages, we may want them to be something, we have to allow God's timing. We have to allow God's process. And what I did, and it's crazy because Lady Jaquita, it was in the moment when I stopped trying to get him to become that man that he became that man. And so now he studies on these things and he started learning all this. He's like, baby, I said, I can't stay in no job. I can't do this. I said, baby, you see what I've been talking to? I was like, snap. When you like, y'all know that code like, you know what I mean? When you want to go ahead and bust a two-step, like, Father, you working. Mon Cherie, like, that's my girl, right? And I'm like, come on, God. And so he started just studying, and about 6 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that, he was like, baby, I'm going to start my vending machine business. I said, okay. And he said, it's going to be called Victory Vending Solutions. Y'all listen, he reached out to Toya, got him a logo design, paid her for his logo. He got t-shirts designed, and he didn't just get a t-shirt for himself. He got t-shirts for his employees he gonna have. He got lanyards done. Y'all, he got his DBA done, right? He went and got the bank account and everything. 5 months ago, you would be sitting here like, Stephanie, why are you doing all that? You ain't got no vending machines. Why you getting a bank account? You ain't got no vending machines. You ain't got no locations. But you know what I watched this man do? I watched this man, y'all, go to these businesses, pitching his services, learning how to pitch to companies. And he would pitch to these people and he secured himself some locations. But what if you were looking at Elijah back then when all he had was a bank account, but he didn't have no place to put his vending machines at? Notice how Elijah made some decisions before the blessing came. That before he could get to the part where he was able to enjoy the blessing, he had to prepare for it, right? And he was studying on this, learning about it. So he got this bank account, but he don't got no vending machines. Why are you getting a bank account? You ain't got no vending machines. Don't that sound like some of y'all family members? Why are you starting a business? You need to go get a real job. What's a real job? Because when I heard you need to get a real job, I heard you need to go get a real just over broke. And I believe y'all are here because y'all like me. Broke don't agree with my spirit. I tasted it. I tried it. It didn't taste good. Anybody ever like listen, there ain't nothing cute or feels good about sitting in your house wondering if you're going to lose it or not. Okay? Been there. Listen, Mama Sherry said, y'all, Mama Sherry actually, she has been one of my clients. She has been one of my people longer than anybody on this call. Because Mama knew TakiyaA when TakiyaA was still doing hair at her old house. Mama knew TakiyaA when she was charging $50 for a session. Matter of fact, when I wouldn't even charge her for sessions because nobody would pay me. Because can I tell you, there are seasons, you gonna go through these seasons. She say the best hairdresser in the world. Mom, if you'd have caught me this week, you could have got you a bust down blowout, okay? Because I was doing her this week in my head. But listen, she's like, oh, with this rain, what you really wanted though. But Elijah had to make some decisions. And now here we are today, praising God. We're praising God for today, yes, because man, he's getting his first vending machine. So if you just jumped in, today I'm buying my husband his first vending machine. Man, a few months ago when I got a Sam's card, so that way I'd be able to buy his stuff in bulk for him and stuff. A few months ago, there was moments I was like, why did I get this card? Why did I make that decision? Because God, I got this card for the vending machine. And God's like, it's coming. But I needed you to prepare. Because if you're not prepared, what's going to happen is it's going to come and you're not going to have the ability to be able to sustain the blessing because you did not prepare. Let's go to Isaiah 54. Today we're talking about destiny decisions. The thing about destiny is destiny decides. You know, Christy, when I was in 2022 and I was done of being on that cycle where it was like, yes, I'm thankful to God that, Elijah works the post office and that's the income we got. And yeah, we're making $4,000 a month, whatever it was at the time. I think it was like $3,000 a month. And I'm thankful for that, but that's just not enough for the vision that God has given me. $3,000 ain't enough for the plans God is putting inside of my heart. Man, this conference we getting ready to do it in October, y'all. Just the building itself was like $6,000. Praise God, I got a nonprofit organization, so it's 5,400. I got 10% off. But I mean, like, I got visions, and it's like this doesn't, you know what I mean? And even that decision to establish my nonprofit organization, because Desiree's the one who finds my buildings for me, and here Desiree then found me a building, and she said, "Oh, and they'll give you 10% off if you got a nonprofit organization." And I'm sitting over here like, thank God I got that done. Because now here I am able to be able to steward God's money better because of a decision I had made. You're looking at the now like, well, what's the point of me doing this now when I'm not doing nothing? Crazy is the one who builds the ark after the flood. Let me run that back. Crazy is the one who tries to build the ark after the flood. You're waiting for the flood to come and then you say you're going to build. No, that's not how it works. Can you tell me what would have happened to Noah if Noah would have tried to build the ark during the flood or after the flood? Put it in the chat for me. Noah had to make a decision. Moses had to make a decision. Esther had to make a decision. In Isaiah 54, we're about to see a woman who had to make a decision. It says, shout for joy, O barren one, she who has not given birth. He didn't say, give me glory because you've given birth. He said, I need you to make a decision to praise me now before the manifestation. You have to live in a state of thank you. Remember how I talked about yesterday with our prayers, right? How would you pray if you believe that God already gave you the money? Father, I thank you that you are the God who supplies all of my needs. So I know that every last one of my needs will be met. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray, amen. Notice I didn't beg him for it. I approached him like he said. He said, come to me humbly. Come to me understanding that you need me. And then he said boldly. He didn't say beggarly. Now, we dealt with that yesterday, more so on the healing that. But it says, break forth into joyful shouting and rejoice, she who has not gone into labor with child. Now, notice he's telling this woman, listen, the woman who has not gone into labor. Now, I'm not talking about going into labor and necessarily you having a child, unless that's what you desire, Desiree. But I'm talking about, how many of you are pregnant with a vision. You're pregnant with purpose. You're pregnant with something no different than Mary. Mary was pregnant with Jesus, who she was pregnant with something that was going to get ready that was going to be the deliverer to nations. You don't know what your vision will do until you do it. Notice what I said. You will never know what your vision is capable of accomplishing until you actually do it. Betty, can I tell them your story about the video that the assignment I gave you to do? Yes. Okay, good. So Betty, one of my one-on-one clients, I had given her an assignment because God had been telling her to do something she had been putting off. What are they going to think of me? What if they judge me? And I'd given her an assignment that she had to make a TikTok video talking about how she overcame being sexually abused as a child. Ooh, she was shaking. She was nervous. I'm like, well, it took a week and a half. But I was like, you gonna do it? Well, I gotta do this first. Okay. You gonna do it? And then finally, She said it was the hardest video she had to make. And finally, y'all, she posted the video. And after she posted the video yesterday when we was doing our check-in, she told me, she said, how many people have reached out to her all because she told her story? People in the comments telling how they were sexually abused by their grandfather at 3 years old because Betty was bold enough to make the decision to tell her story. Because today I'm going to challenge you to make some decisions. Today I'm going to be honest. For the first 2 days, I've kind of treated y'all like y'all are just newbies in my world. No, today I'm treating y'all like as if y'all were my clients already. And my clients, they decide. You want to procrastinate? What you here for? You didn't come here to procrastinate, right? You came here to make a decision. You didn't come here so there could just be another class you listen to. Listen, don't let this be another class that sits on your shelf that you never actually use. And you go to God and you say, God, nobody helps me. Nobody's willing to tell me nothing. God, everybody gatekeeping. No, you gatekeeping. Because you're keeping all this, you hoarding information, but you're not acting on the information. I was talking to my husband about knowledge. I said, I know we always say knowledge is power. No, it's not. Knowledge is only power when it is applied. Because a lot of you got knowledge, and are you any more powerful than you were before? Look, Lady Jaquita said, nothing changed. Like a lot of you got all this knowledge and you sit here like, God, why is the knowledge not working? Because you ain't working it. You gotta make a decision. It says, so in verse 2, it says, enlarge the side of your tent to make room for more children. Notice what she had to do. He said, you're going to have to make a decision that if you really believe you're called to be a mother, you're not, this apartment ain't cutting it. If you really believe that you are called to be wealthy, constantly making broke people decisions ain't cutting it. Abigail said yesterday, one of the reasons why she was hesitant to consider joining the Worthy Woman Academy is she said, because y'all are some high value people. Well, then my question to Abigail will be, well, then Abigail, what are you, low class? But you treat yourself like you low class. Because if you see yourself, Mon Cherie, as high value, why wouldn't you want to get inside of a high value space? Another one of my ladies, Shantae here, who is getting ready. Y'all, she took the last spot. Now, assuming she says yes, she took my last spot for me coaching for 3 months for $2,500. So after she takes that spot, it's going to be now $5,000 for 3 months. But can I tell y'all, I had to make a decision this year to one, start doing one-on-ones. Two, Desiree, I didn't want to charge $5,000 and I didn't want to charge $2,500, right? Can I tell you I was nervous? I was like, what about $997? And she was like, how about no? And I had to make a decision to raise my prices. And I didn't do it, Lady Jaquita, at first, because I was like, well, what if people won't pay that? Praise God for great coaches. And Desiree's one of my coaches. And she was telling me, she was like, they will pay it. There are ladies in your space who will pay it. And then now all of a sudden I got ladies in my space who is paying that like it's nothing. I got ladies already telling me they're ready to sign on for 6 months now because I decided to own my worth. Maybe some of you right now, God is telling you, you need to make a decision that you are more valuable than you have been allowing yourself to be. Here you go, Abigail, again, talking broke. Talking broke again. Abigail, yesterday, I told you, you got to start talking like where you're going. You got to start thinking like where you're going. If you start seeing yourself as that version of you, you talk differently. I'm going to set a boundary. If it happens again, we're going to have to. Because, ladies, listen, I'm at a space in life where, listen, I'm not here to teach you stuff and then stay on a cycle with you on it. You got to hear what I'm saying to y'all, ladies. You got to hear me. Because what I'm trying to show you something. It's not about how you can pay for $2,500 or $5,000. I'm trying to show you, Abigail, what happens when you own your worth. Because you may not be able to afford a haircut, but your clients don't know what you can and cannot afford. But you know why people know what you can and cannot afford? Because, like, why do y'all keep rehearsing that, ladies? Nobody needs to know what you can and cannot afford. Why do we keep rehearsing this? Because you know what you're doing? Words are contracts. And you just made a contract saying that you can't even afford to cut your hair. You cool with that? Ladies, you got to talk for where you're going, not where you at. So no more talking like that. I love you, but no more. Some of you, God has been telling you, own your value. Put in the chat for me if you're one of those people that God is saying, own your value. Christy, I always love when you raise your hand because every time you raise your hand, you always turn your head to the side. I have so much money. I tip my stylist in hundreds. Miguel. Now, did y'all see that? Listen, did you see that shift? You see the shift, Abigail. Abigail, you better go on with your bad self. Listen, she said, listen, words give the enemy legal rights to influence, oppress, and suppress us. And he ain't influencing, oppressing, or suppressing TakiyaA. Okay, listen, somebody said it's easier said than done. We're muting. Y'all don't understand. I'm not playing today. I'm muting it. I'm not listening to it. Mm-mm. Because can I tell y'all something? Is it hard raising kids? Yeah. Is it hard going to a job that you hate every single day, but you do it because you got to pay bills, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all something. When I used to do hair, them foot be swelling, okay? But you do it. You're saying it's hard, but you do it. Try raising adults. You can overcome. You can overcome. So he told her, he said, enlarge the side of your tent to make room for more children. So, what is one decision you can make today in alignment with your Esther anointed identity instead of your trauma saturated identity? Ooh, come on. Lady Jaquita, like, yeah, one lady said on her, if I can raise 10 kids, I can do anything. Baby, you better raise them 10 kids. You better. Hey, let me send you listen, reach out to me. I'm gonna send you a free bottle of oil of increase because you need it. I'm gonna bless you with that. Listen, I read this post that it said it's hard getting out of bed. It's hard being overweight. It's hard raising kids. He said, choose your hard. Every day we do things that are hard. Isn't it hard? Like Alicia, isn't it hard watching other people do the very same thing that you can do? Isn't it hard watching somebody else making six figures doing the same thing that you're barely making sales in? That's hard. But you're doing it? And he said, choose your hard. Ladies, you got to choose your hard. Like, can I be real? Yes, it was hard being overweight, depressed. I'm 4'11. I was 200 some pounds. We were broke, digging in our couches, Abigail, for $2 milk, and it was hard. It was hard standing at the front door watching my water get cut off with my daughter right there. But you know what I did, Abigail? I stopped talking about how hard it was. And I read this thing that my mama had on her fridge, and she says, don't complain about what you permit. You made decisions that allowed that thing into your life. And mama said, Kaya, don't complain about what you're not willing to change. Ooh, come on. I quit my job in January with no savings to pursue what God wants me to do in a commission-based only environment. God will make a way, and he did. Trust him. Come on. I can't wait for you to hear my basic. Call yourself basic again and see. Oh, thank you so much. Wow. Can I tell your testimony? The person who just privately DM'd me? Oh, wow. Yes. Okay, good. I just got a DM from Erica, who was invited by Betty. She said, I was watching the last 2 days on TikTok as nobody's clown designs, but Betty sent me the Zoom link to join here today. Thank you for what you've given me in 3 days. I'm getting up and taking my blessings. This morning, I got a call for a collaboration. Come on. She literally took listened to what I said last 2 days. Come on. And she said, I got a call for a collaboration. I said, yes, instead of being scared of disappointment. Come on. Come on. I'm telling y'all, it works. Jeez, it works. Come on. Look at God. A collaboration is basically where you link up with a brand or something like that, and they basically pay you to market for them. Or you collect, I mean, it just basically you creating a deal with somebody that gives some sort of monetary or gain in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so listen to this. So we're going to talk about real quick the power of decisions. Write that down. The power of decisions. And I'm going to give y'all my formula on how to make decisions. And real quick before I go there, remember what I said? He told her, enlarge the side of your tent to make room for more children. So today, you're going to have to make a decision to Elijah. You know I'm on a live right now, baby. My baby's calling me. You're going to have to make a decision to enlarge the side of your tent to make room. Now, I don't know what you're necessarily making room for. You're going to have to tell me that part. But listen here, because y'all, he's getting his vending machine. And to get his vending machine, he has to get contracts done. Oh, y'all, give me 2 seconds just to let my septic people know that I'm here at the house. Give me 2 seconds. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Desiree, flow in the spirit for a second, okay? Prophesy to a few people. This is why I got a team, y'all.
Shantae, I've been thinking about you all day, girl. All day. Whew. Because I've been thinking about you, let me ask God. Whew. God, who are you leaving me toward today? Oof. Okay, Shantae, because I've been thinking about you all day. I think this is the moment that God was preparing me for that I didn't even know God was preparing me for. Okay, cool. That's okay. You don't have to be on camera. That's okay. Ooh. The Lord says he's about to do big things for you, Shantae. Big things, big things. The rain is coming, like a pouring rain that will bring the blossoms, that will bring the flowers. Whew. I keep seeing like consistent 10K months. Like, I don't know if this is what you've been asking God for, or what, but I'm seeing that like you're gonna have consistency in your deals. You're gonna have consistency in what you're making per month as you divide it up. I know it's commission based in the whole situation, but as you divide it up through the months, it is going to lead to 10K plus months. But the minimum for you is going to be those 10K months. Any other word? You are about to grow fast. You are about to grow fast. I'm seeing $500,000. I don't know if this is a $500,000 deal or $500,000 that you are moving to, but like and I've been, you know what, Shelter, I've been thinking about you all day. The Lord is about to bring so much divine abundance upon you, Shantae, and you've already been preparing for it. You've already been preparing for it since the moment that you left that job in January. You have been walking at every step, and I'm seeing like a pathway at every brick. You've been walking and you've been doing every step that the Lord has shown you to do, and He sees you. I see you, my daughter. I know that you have been walking, and where I've shown you, continue to walk, and where I'm showing you, and I am about to send you the support that you need to get to your next level. Whew. I know that you're one of the spots with TakiyaA today. Go ahead and take that opportunity. And at the same time, there are going to be more opportunities that you feel called to that are going to expand you into your next level. Take those too. Finally, reach out to those people that you've been looking at and saying, oh, you know what? One day I want them to be my mentor too. I see like 2 or 3 mentors that you may be having to support you into this next level, because God is about to fund your dreams. All right. Oh, sorry, TakiyaA.
Girl, I was over here praying God take her to the next level. And then I figured, heck, you were prophesying. So I was like, well, you know what? I got some time to pass. God, who you want me to give a word to? And so I was giving a lady a word on TikTok. So it worked out. And so,
Okay.
but yeah, but y'all, so we're going to move over to talking about the power of decisions. The power of decisions. Because she had to decide to enlarge her tent despite her circumstances, Alicia. She couldn't look at her circumstances. He said, listen, even though you're barren, so I acknowledge that you're barren. Man, I think about Ariel, when you had to make a decision to enlarge your tent with that vehicle. I'm sure everything in you was telling you, don't do this. But you had to choose to say, God, I know what you have called me to, and so I'm not staying here. Anybody is saying today, I'm not staying here? Come on, Christy, come on. I'm not staying here anymore. Come on. I'm not staying here. And some of you, the reason why you stuck where you at is because your circle. Some of you got to get out of them pool of Bethesda circles. What am I talking about? I'm talking about everybody sitting around sick, waiting on somebody to come do something for them. And then Jesus is there. He like, you want to get healed? And then they start telling all their excuses and all their reasons why they can't do it. And Jesus like, get up. I love how Jesus is, because Jesus didn't even address the fact that he was. Did y'all notice Jesus didn't address his excuses? Did you notice that Jesus did not address all the things that he was using to try to talk himself out of it? Jesus said, get up. Let me go ahead and tell y'all, like Jesus would have told you, get up. He had to make a decision to get up, because your healing is in the decision. Your healing is in the getting up. Ooh, okay. Y'all know I get turned up. Listen, okay, so we're talking about the power of decisions. Okay, decisions shape our lives, impacting every aspect from daily routines to long-term goals. Notice what it said, decisions shape your lives. And they're so powerful that they will impact every aspect from the mundane of just your daily routine, right? Even on up to your long-term goals. So do you see how your decisions mold the day? When I was talking yesterday, to my coach about just like, when it comes to like, how do you do these things, like certain things, because there are some things that I do lack motivation. And he said, it's discipline. You have to be disciplined. And he said, and what I mean by that is, so you said that you want to lose weight. He said, okay, pull out your calendar. And I want you to write on your schedule that you're going to the gym at that certain time. He said, what did you just do? You just made a decision. Well, sis, I made a decision, but I didn't do it. Okay, write it again for the next day. And you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it. Years ago, when I was on this journey of becoming the sis you need, back in 2020, me and Elijah, God gave me this vision that I was going to be speaking. He said, you're going to speak on stage the size of Joyce Myers. You're going to be known around the world. Baby, don't nobody, and I told you yesterday, I come from a small town in Texas. Don't nobody know you, girl, okay? So I didn't know who was going to know me, but I was in my prayer closet. God gave me a word. He said some people was going to watch me. And so, you know what I did? I went on Amazon, y'all. I bought me a chair. I went and got me some lights. And do you know they are the same lights that's up here till this day? And I made these investments into doing live streams because he was showing me to start doing these live streams. When I started, I didn't really have none of this. Mama Sherry can tell you. I was still doing her because I hadn't made enough money yet to where I could be able to let go of doing that because I didn't want to do physical labor. I don't really personally like more of a physical job. I like more of like doing things like when it comes to like speaking, communication, and creating systems, things like that. Because in the cash flow quadrant, that's the highest paid person. The person who does the job is typically the least paid person on the totem pole. And so I'm telling you, you got to study these things, Alicia, right? Yes. Uh-huh. Give me another second, okay, y'all? I'm sorry. This was not supposed to happen. Yes. Ghetto. Y'all are so ghetto. I'm so sorry. This is not supposed to happen. This is literally not supposed to be happening. Like they were supposed to come tomorrow, and not tomorrow. They were supposed to come this morning because our septic wasn't working. And I guess one of the storms knocked out our power. And so when the storm knocked out our power, it turned off the breaker and stuff. And so it wasn't working. Y'all, Walmart, I told y'all the dresses be at Walmart, okay? I wanted a different one, but they didn't have that. But this works. I like it. It's pretty. But so they came to fix our septic, y'all. That's one thing for those of you buying property, right? You're gonna need a septic. Just go and put it out there for you. So be ready for that, okay? And stuff. It's interesting. Somebody said, this is a blessing for me in life because I'm at the crossroads of life. Come on. But so decisions. So it says the power of decisions. So decisions shape our lives. Every decision, big or small, contributes to the trajectory of our lives. When we look at Esther, what did Esther have to do? She had to make decisions. One, she had to make a decision to listen to the mentor that God had put in her life. First, that started off as Mordecai. But then also she had to also be willing to seek wisdom. When she was now in the process, remember it talked about how the king's eunuchs, how one of them had gave her wisdom on how to be able to find favor. Because I'm telling you something that I study people. I study favor. Coming into this year, God told me, he said, you're going to need favor. And I need you to study favor. And so in coming into the conference, I started studying favor because I knew, okay, we're getting built. My last building was like it held 30 people. This one we got 200 people coming in. So, I needed favor. And then finding out that the dates I wanted is during wedding season. Y'all, I've been married for 12 years. You think I know when wedding season is? And I don't really work in weddings. So I don't know none of this stuff. But because I had favor. And then the person that we worked with was a Christian and they love what we're doing. And so we got blessed with so much. And God has allowed me to walk in so much favor. I told y'all I just got 5 acres for free. Favor. And so she had to listen to that wisdom. And then too, she had destiny helpers. Some of y'all call them destiny builders. But I'm going to tell you something. When you have destiny builders and destiny helpers, you need to be effective at communication. Let me tell y'all a few things, okay? I know you're praying to God to bring you destiny helpers, but if you barely can have a conversation with people, it's going to be a little difficult. And if you don't like people ask you a lot of questions, it's going to be a little difficult. There's some character. Remember, I talked about developing your character. 2, one of the things God had to deal with me on is I don't really like people telling me what to do. And my destiny helpers, they tend to like to try to tell me what to do. And I have to listen. Listen, one of my coaches, because I was throwing a little fits and I was allowing that old me to come out, they let me know, you do it one more time and I love you, but I will literally no longer coach you. Because I'm going to tell you something, you working with people at a different level, they tolerance for stuff that you tolerate are so different. And I was like, who, Father? So when you hiring coaches, you want to do some work on yourself too. If you struggle with control, you're going to break that fast. But right, Mama Sherry said, oh my. Mama Sherry said, very true. Desiree, tell some stories for them. But so you got to be able to communicate. You got to really know your vision. So if I asked you, so I'm going to ask every last one of you, and I want you to put in the chat for me, what is your vision for that thing that God has called you to do? And if God brought you now answer that. Now, tidbit, because if God brought you your destiny helpers right now, what would they do? You have to give them an assignment to do. Remember, you destiny helper, not destiny mind readers. So you can't expect them to just read your mind. And Desiree laughing. You have to be able to communicate because you got to understand something. Your team is a reflection of you. When I was starting the process of hiring my team and I was getting wisdom from my spiritual father as a great established team, he told me, he said, when they're not listening, it's not that they're not listening. You have not communicated the vision effectively enough to them to know what to do. Remember, the Bible says, write the vision and make it what? Not make it confusing, make it plain. So I thank God that, Juanita coming in now is one of my destiny helpers, destiny builders. What did I have to do? I literally have files on how to onboard, what to text, what questions to ask, what to do, what are my links, what are my process. I taught her how to write emails like I write emails, so I don't got to write an email no more. I have been teaching her how to execute my vision to the point where when I go, and actually, Juanita, we maybe change them dates to the end of May, right? The last week of May is probably when I'm gonna take a vacay, probably. But because here's the thing. If you don't decide to factor rest in with the vision, you will get burned out. So you got to be able to rest. You got to learn how to prioritize rest. So I have always known that I am to speak my truth, and that my story and my vision would unfold to help so many people. But how? In what way are you called to express it? Is it via social media? Is it via speaking engagements? Is it through writing a book? Is it on a podcast? Is it on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook? Is it through emails? Is it through writing blogs? Do y'all see what I'm saying now? Because I can have this vision, but there's so many ways to communicate it. You can communicate your story through t-shirts. You can communicate your stories through doing you. Listen, I did hair because I loved helping women to feel beautiful when I didn't feel beautiful. Organize my household, assist me with training for my team. Mama. My helpers would help me plan and communicate and help me unfold my vision to my fullest potential. Now, think about that. They would help you plan, right? But you got to give them something to plan. My people that are on my team that are helping me plan my conference. When I came to them, I had to tell them, this is my vision for the conference, right, Desiree? I told Desiree, this is the vision. I don't want to host a conference. I want to host an experience. So I want when they come in for them to feel like they are inside of the Garden of Eden. I want when these ladies here that they feel like they are getting back to their real identity. I want for every aspect of this to literally feel like a whole entire experience. Do you see what I'm doing here? Yes, Lord, I have a book coming out. I'm ministry to the people that sit in my chair. Come on, you better minister to the parliament. So my destiny helpers would assist me in capturing the vision at angles I cannot see. What does that mean? Does that mean like they're going to take pictures? Because when you say capturing the vision at angles I cannot see, that sounds great, but that's still a little vague. Do you remember what I said? Clearly, easily. I would expect them to operate in their God-given gift with confidence. Now, let me ask you a question, Jasmine. Are you operating in your God-given gift with confidence? Because you can never expect your team to do what you aren't always already doing. I'm going to tell y'all that. You can't expect your downline. I know I got some network marketers here. You can't expect your downline to be consistent when you're not consistent. Help me build systems that can align with what my vision is. What kind of systems? Because systems could be email, systems can be funnels, systems can be, do you see what I'm saying? Because a lot of you, even when you think of systems, what you're really saying is you need a schedule. Mm-hmm. I saw you in the cup. I'm a homeschool mom of 3 with one with ADHD. Well, listen, girl, I don't really say ADHD with, okay, who stands against ADHD? Well, girl, listen, let me be all the proof that they're going to do great things because I stand against it. Come on. Ain't stop no show. I want to add that my vision of creativity, coaching, and ministry. So, okay, so creativity coaching. So a coaching style that fosters their creativity. So if I want to help my clients foster their creativity, right? What do I need in place to do so? What are the things that's going to help them do so? Come on. The Holy Spirit told you. See, I'm just confirming. My assistant, y'all, she was like, I'm going to send you an 18-month planner. I said, girl, I got one. No, you don't have to send it. She was talking about that schedule. So your vision is to help single mothers and women. Okay, I need you to decide today, Lakeisha, to help the single mother and the woman that you look in the mirror at every day. Because as you help her, you are preparing yourself to help that woman. Even with my husband, y'all, with this vending machine business, I told him, I said, honey, at first I told him, I said, hey, you know what? I'll go do your setup for you. And then I stopped and I said, no, baby. I said, because you need to be there for every step of the process. So when you are coaching people on how to start their vending machine business, because you went through every step of the process, you're going to be able to coach them. Now you see how it looked good for me as a wife to want to help him. But see, God has already called him into another level after this. And if I would have been focused on being the good old wife and not have seen what God was doing that moment, he could have made a decision that would have hindered him down the road. So he would have been sitting like, well, baby, I don't know how to tell nobody how to do this. Yeah, because you never did it for yourself. Okay, so the power of decisions influences our future. Our choices determine our destiny. I'm going to let that sit right there. Your choices determine the destiny you live in life. What would happen today if you stopped deciding yourself and started to let your destiny decide? I want you to answer in the chat. Who has been deciding, you or your destiny? Give me 2 seconds, y'all, because I think I just heard somebody in my house. I'm over here talking a good old talk too, y'all. Aura done lean forward about to unmute and say, we can't hear you. Aura, you was sitting over looking so quiet and meek, but the moment you couldn't hear me, I was about to hear all of you today. Come on. She's like, we ain't missing this good word. But no, what I was saying, I was reading what she had said, what that her vision, Moncherie's vision, to release a book in poetry of encouraging single mothers. And I said, imagine if you actually was to read your own book and allow your own poems to bless you. Y'all know why I be so crunk on my videos, like that video yesterday I made while I was getting bit up by ants. Did y'all see that? I was getting tore up. Because I sat there, Chrissy, and I was like, God is giving thee a revelos overflow. Then I know I've been looking at that pond and baby, she was barren. But now look at my pond, y'all. And I'm over here hearing the sound of the water just bursting forth. Baby, I can hear the blessings. Oh, I can hear. I can see them. And I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm like, this is exactly what God is doing to me. Oh, the people need to know it. I got to tell the parliament. So then I go make a video to y'all. Y'all, I get the word before y'all get the word. It preached to me. I be on the phone with my people. I be like, oh, glory. I call you back. I had to go make a video. Because God, I allow God to minister it to me. Even when I've been on the destiny decisions, I've been marinating on this word. Man, when I was getting my nails done and I was getting my toes done, I was just marinating, thanking the Lord. And man, God blessed me by letting my phone go dead because, well, I didn't have nothing else to do with your phone dead. So I was like, well, and I'm one of the people who do not like to just sit there looking in the abyss that much. But listen, more or less what I'm trying to say, y'all. Okay, so our choices determine our destiny and the kind of life we build. So your choices determine the kind of life that you build. The power of decisions impacts our relationships. Decisions affect not only ourselves, but also those around us. You have to understand. So it's one thing, let me tell y'all something God had to deal with me on. It's one thing, TakiyaA, for you to sit here and say that you don't want broke people around, that you don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of broke people. Why? Because if you got 5 broke friends, you're on your way to be the 6th one. But God had to tell me, well, you can't sit here saying you don't want broke friends around you, but then you show up to be the broke friend. So then I had to realize that just as much I can look at them, Chrissy, and say they're affecting me. Well, hold up, I'm affecting them too. So one of the things that even motivates me in wealth is I got a whole entire Worthy Woman Academy who is connected to me. And I don't want them connected to broke. I don't want them connected to poverty. So I'm constantly trying to push past limits, constantly pushing past limits. Why? Because I understand that I'm either going to be a connector of the blessing. Not the Bible say you're blessed to be a blessing. Didn't he tell Abraham that I'm going to bless those who bless you? So he said, if they connect with you on a blessing level, I'm going to bless them. But he said, if they curse you, so they try to connect with you on a curse level, they going to get cursed. So it let me know, Alicia, that I I got to also be watching myself to realize that when I'm showing up in spaces, what are they connecting with when they connect with me? I can look at them all day long, Shantae, but I got to look at me. And I don't want to be the friend that's on the phone with Shantae, and Shantae's like, man, it just seems like all this bad stuff happening. But I'm sitting up here knowing that it's happening because bad stuff keep on happening to me because I keep on inviting it in. Didn't Abraham fight unnecessary battles because of Lot? Come on. Didn't Moses, oh, Moses, all the stuff he had to go through, he was getting mad because of them. He disobeyed God at the end because of them. He was mad at the people. He was like, the Bible says, how can two walk together unless they're in agreement? So whether you like it or not, whatever you walk with, you're coming to agreement with. Okay. The power of decisions drive leadership. Decisive leadership is crucial for proactive action and effective decision making. Your decisions will either make you a leader or a follower. Because a follower goes along. A leader says, no, we're breaking cycles over here. We're breaking barriers over here. We're breaking generational curses. Listen, I'm not about to have another person in my kids is not about to have to fight poverty because I didn't stand up to it. That's a leader. And then she goes and make a decision, say, I'm breaking this off. Then it says, the power of decisions, embrace the unknown. Making choices involves cutting off other possibilities. I'm going to say this to you, ladies. Don't go in defeated before you're already defeated. How do you go in defeated when the moment you say, well, what if this happens? You're already defeating yourself before you ever got defeated, boo. Can we at least just get past one thing before we get to the other? It says overcome indecision. Taking decisive action can reduce stress and enhance effectiveness. Some of you are stressed about stuff because you just ain't made a decision yet. Make the decision. You lingering on it. Man, the other day, me and Juanita was doing something, and I had to literally hurry up and make a decision. I say, pivot, pivot. Let's just pivot. I made a decision and said, we're just gonna pivot, we're gonna do something different. Because instead of me sitting there harping on what doesn't work, instead of me allowing myself to be overwhelmed, what I do, I chose to pivot instead. And we didn't sit there mulling over it all day long. That takes some of you are drained because you're mulling over things that you just need to make a decision about. Alicia, go ahead and unmute and tell me what the Lord's showing you. Go ahead and give him the glory.
Look, it's with my job. Like Papa God done showed me, like, Alicia, it's time for you to move. But I've been choosing to stay comfortable, but the Holy Spirit has been now the Holy Spirit is my bestie. And so the Holy Spirit has been on me so heavy, like, Alicia, it's time to move. And Papa God has showed me, like, I prepared you before. Don't you think I'll do it again? Like, oh my word. Let me mute out. Okay, go ahead.
Y'all know me. I'm over here like, let him use you. Come on. God has told you, you're sitting there like, God, I don't know what to do. And God is like, you know what to do. You're just afraid. But then he comes back and he says, fear not, for I am with you. I will strengthen you and harden you to difficulties. Y'all, I used to sit there and mull that scripture when I was in the process of doing this. And I would mull it. And God told me, he said, I'm giving you a spiritual backbone. That the things that used to affect you don't affect you no more. Let me tell you, there's some decisions that when I first started doing all this, I would cry over those decisions. Now we literally move. We don't even mourn. We literally just decide and move and trust God. Peace. Come on. So What is the decision that has been giving you stress that God has said make? I'm gonna give y'all the formula for the decision today. Don't worry, I got you. We're almost there. Embrace. So I put embrace the unknown. Making choices involves cutting off other possibilities. You got to cut off fear. Come on, cut off fear. Seek wisdom. When faced with difficult decisions, seeking guidance and wisdom can be beneficial. Come on. Embrace, consider consequences. Every decision has consequences, both positive and negative. Embrace emotions. That's what a lot of you run from. You don't like the feelings of the decision. And one of the things that God told me is, he said, because I was like, God, why am I like, I'm grateful to God that I make six figures. Don't get me wrong. But I said, Father, why do I keep on making six figures? Why am I not hitting seven? And he said, because you don't have the emotional capacity for seven figures. Look at what he said, you making six figures and look at how you get when people frustrate you. Look at how flustered you get. He said, you make six figures and you get mad about a $40 chargeback. And then I'm on the phone with my friend who's a millionaire talking about a $5,000 chargeback. I'm like, I better get over myself, right? Like, he's like, you don't have the emotional capacity for $1 million. Because if these things already fret you now, Ariel, let's talk in private about that, okay? That's not something I'd like to address in front of a bunch of people. Because things like that are very sensitive to me, okay? But listen, I had to work on my emotional intelligence. So I had to learn to stop popping off all the time. Because there are some rooms you can't pop off like that in. Topeka, like, here she go down my road. I had to learn that it's okay to have boundaries. And even when I'm uncomfortable sharing my boundary, it's still a boundary. I had to deal with the emotions that I was still holding on to around people pleasing and about how it made me feel when people would perceive me as a false prophet or perceive me as somebody just trying to get money from them or whatever perception it was that I was struggling with. I had to deal with that. I had to face that. I had to be okay with that. That if they have a narrative about that, let them have it. So I had to work on my emotions and I had to stop running from my feelings and start embracing them. I meditate on having the wealth and allowing myself to even feel, what does it feel like to have that money? And I check to see what are the things that are making me uncomfortable around having it. And most times it was Christians' opinions. And now it's like, listen, I'm me, you, we got the same daddy, but we ain't the same person. I'm me, you got the same daddy, ain't the same person. So, ladies, if you lack emotional intelligence, because here's the thing too, when you're walking in your destiny, right? And let's say them emotions start coming up and them fears start to rise too. What do? Do you push past it or do you typically quit? You're going to have to learn how to push past it. Because when my ladies get in my Worthy Woman Academy, I don't teach you to avoid emotions. I teach you to confront them. I'm not going to tell you to not do something just because you don't feel comfortable doing it. Because the reason why you don't feel comfortable is because you have not taught your subconscious mind and your nervous system that it is safe to do that thing. You haven't given yourself the evidence to know that everything is going to be all right. Because think about this. There's been some decisions you had to make. And what did you find out in the end? Man, everything really was all right, Alicia. So you got to learn how to be able. And so emotions play a role in decision making, even in seemingly rational choices, because most people buy from their emotions. It's crazy because the world teaches that if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to. And listen, You got to think about that, like in the Bible. How many things they had to do that was not comfortable? Ah, so you have to. Oh, I like this. This is the last one I want to give. Act intentionally. Every action is a vote for the person we wish. I'm going to change the word. Every action is a vote for either the person we want to become or for the version of us we don't want to become. So every action you take, you're voting towards who you want to be or who you always have been. What decisions have you been making? Have you been making decisions like when I'm telling people like about making decisions that if you know this is who you are, then what would you do? If you know you're a millionaire, Shantae, what does that millionaire do? Man, Lady Jaquita, if you were that highly sought
Yes,
after
sir.
creativity coach, what would you be doing? Ask yourself that question for a moment. What would I be doing right now if I believed I already was that version of me? What decisions would I make today? And Ariel, I know where you're at because I was there too. What decisions? If you are, I want to read just some of y'all stories. And Christy, I want you to get ready because I'm about to call on you. And after Christy goes, I'm going to give y'all my 3-step process on decision making. Okay, that's going to help you to make wise and good God-led decisions. Man, Shantae, if you knew that you were already shining your light, helping people get to their promised land, what would you do today? If that's who you are, what would you do? Man, Shandana, if you knew you were already speaking that truth, communicating it, helping others get free, what would you be doing today? Man, I'd be looking for more ways I can tell my testimony. I know I would. I want to read just some of y'all so I can see. Man, Shawana, matter of fact, I got, and if you need help with this, I got I think you're inside of Where You Woman Academy. I have a vendors list for that scrub line. And two, I got some vendors for you for your scrub line. But man, if you had a successful scrub line, man, people are on your website right now shopping for, looking for you. What would you do? What would you do? And we have my team that's inside of my Worthy Woman Academy. I got people there too that can help you with the whole website thing and stuff like that. You just need to connect with them. They do all that. My vision is to bring women, bring young women to end my God, give them my truths. I would have had them. I see. Okay, you say your vision is to bring young women to end. Can you give me more context? Because maybe I'm not reading that. Abigail, your vision is to write a book. I remember you talking about that. I mean, your vision is to help single moms and women create a life that will help them change their lives while impacting and helping others. Natalie, if that's who you believe you already are, what would you be doing? What would you do today? How could you help them today? Remember, I said this the first day I said, you first help you to help them. And if you're helping you, then what would you do? Come on. Come on, stock market trading. Come on. You know your son is good at that, mama. Every action you take is a vote towards either becoming the version of you you desire to be or the version of you that you don't want to be, but you keep doing things to keep being them. I'll be making more videos, posting when I'll be confident in my path and the moves I'm making. I'll be looking for different avenues to continue to share my story. Well, Dana, did you just get clarity? And now look, you know what to do. Come on. Christy, you ready? Y'all, Christy is one of the ladies in our Worthy Woman Academy, and I asked her to come and share her testimony with y'all. I've gotten to see a glimpse of her testimony. I'm really excited to hear what she's going to say today because I've been able to just work with her. And y'all, she has been one of the people who helped me to get on this path to finally stop. Because for years I would say, I'm going to get a G-Wagon this year. I'm going to get a G-Wagon this year. But after listening to her, I stopped just being the person who said, I'm going to get a G-Wagon this year. And I started now making decisions to every month be the person who actually does the things that somebody would do if they were getting a G-Wagon. And I'm on my second or third month of the plan you talk about. And so I am doing it. And so, y'all, I'm going to let her share. Let me unmute you.
Okay, I'm unmuted. Can you hear me? All right. Okay. So first, before I even start this testimony, I just want to tell y'all this right here is what I'm going to talk about. So it just a glimpse. It was just a glimpse. But okay. So since joining the Worthy Women's Academy, I'm just going to tell you the testimony that I wrote and then kind of go from there and break off. So I wrote this testimony on April 28th at 9:40 at night. So I said, I hope this testimony finds you right where you are and lifts you to places that you've never dreamed. For the past year, we had a vision board and we made it in January 2024. We have an envelope on here. It says prayers, and then down here it says answered. Okay. So the prayers went in, and then we have the prayers written in an envelope for prayers answered. We had a family vacation trip photo. When I tell y'all, family vacation right here, family vacation trip. On that, we were believing for also, we have this lion, okay, because the lion logo was my vision for our business. We had a money symbol because we had no idea where money was going to come from. We had these credit scores, 839, 837, 705, 701, 703, 745, 832. These are fantastic credit scores. Okay. So on these, and then here's our Chevy Traverse. So I just wanted to tell you, okay, so we had the money symbol because we didn't know where the money was going to come from. And then this brand new Chevy Traverse with the blackout package, it were all these things that we were believing for. So every year our church does a corporate prayer at the end of the year. It's called The Unusual. What The Unusual does is it's where you sow a seed of something unusual. So if you normally give $5 and this time you give 10 because you're believing for something unusual. So they call it the unusual seed. It's where you sow a seed of something unusual and ask God to do something and believing for that is unusual. So we participated as we always do because previous to this testimony, there was another couple of them that we did in front of the entire church. But we have seen God move in our life, our family, and our finances. So in 2024, we were going up to focus on getting our business up and running for 25. In February of 2024, I took my pride and I laid it down at the altar with my ego on what they also call Resume Sunday. I knew and believed God had more for me. A week later, 1 week after I did this, I got laid off from my job, a 6-figure salary position, for a mere 50% of a severance package. So I went from making 6 figures a year. Now they're going to give me a severance package that only is 50% of what I was making. And I have been with them for a long time and made them millions and billions of dollars. I took the rest of the day to sulk, and then I put on my big girl panties and stood up and I wiped my tears. My husband supported me in every way because he was at peace with me losing my job because he said it was killing me. So the stress alone was the one that was killing me. I tell you all this just to show you what God can do. So we took our family on a cruise. And when I tell you family, our family is not little. I have 8 children. I have 15 grandchildren. I have a mother-in-law, an auntie-in-law, and 2 sister-in-laws. And I'm an only child. And then I have my father. But we took our family on a family cruise. in April of 24, where my bonus son was proposed to, where he proposed to his now fiance. And we were all a part of it. Everyone got to see it. I got everything together to start our business from scratch to get it up and running successfully with all my years of knowledge and God's stamina and my husband's stamina and God's grace. I recovered from a Chapter 7 bankruptcy that I had a high credit score with that was less than perfect, but it was still pretty high. That's what I started with. I was able to get my real estate license and become a successful, and that is what we're all doing. The whole time that I was able to do all of this after being laid off from my job, I joined late in the year, this TikTok challenge from one of my favorite content creators that I've been following. That's TakiyaA. So she had this $10,000 challenge. You want to make $10,000 in a month before Christmas. And that's how she got me. I was like, gotta supply Christmas somehow, because my little severance package went paying for our family's cruise. So I had my first $60,000 in less than 90 days from joining her challenge. So today, this is April 28th of 2025. This is a year and 4 months after, almost 5 months after we wrote this whole vision board. I'm like trying to show you guys. We got the last item on our vision board, and it was that truck. Literally the truck. Like, that was the last thing. It was something my husband had been believing for. Something that I was believing for, because with all these kids and grandkids and stuff that we do every day, we needed a bigger vehicle. I have my car, he has another car, but now we have this vehicle. So today, as I sit here thanking God and all his goodness, I know it was all because of him. So we named our truck his name. Yes, his name is KZ, which is short for King Zay, because just like the rest of the family, he's now part of this Mag Royalty team. All praises be to God, but I wanted to thank TakiyaA because she changed my way of thinking. She changed my way of perception. She was God's voice that pushed me. So he gets all my glory, but this Worthy Women Academy, the community gets all my respect and my admiration for the accountability that they held me to. So I literally had no idea where I was going and no idea what to do. And God was pushing me and pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. And then listening to TakiyaA, and then being on these like daily, weekly calls for the Worthy Women Academy has changed my life to no end. And I will tell y'all, I'm going to be 50 in July. And I was planning this big, huge masquerade ball. I'm like, it has to be like, it's grand. It's me. I'm extra. I know y'all don't know that, but I'm extra. Man, I'm extra. Okay. So, I was like, I'm going to sell tickets. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then I was like, this is not about me. So I was like, I'm not doing it no more. I was planning this big, elaborate 50th birthday ball for everyone to come out and celebrate me. But why am I paying for everyone to come celebrate me when I'm really the one that like celebrate them? So I was like, okay. And so I reached out to the event planner and I said, hey, Drew, I was like, unfortunately, I'm no longer going to be able to do my event. And he said, unfortunately, because of the contract that we signed and you're only 70 days away, you would have needed to give me 180 days advance notice, and I cannot give you back your deposit. So I talked to my husband and I'm like, what can I do? So I reached out to Drew again and I said, hey, Drew, can I do this? So Drew let me change my date from July 19th, which is my 50th birthday, is now going to be on a Friday night, October the 10th. And it is something, y'all, I had never imagined, but God put it on my heart. It's no longer about me. He said, build it and they will come. So it's called Merle Advisory Group, which is the name of our business, and Doorways to Home, which is the name of my real estate company, presents Remove the Mask. And it's a masquerade ball. And after the event is paid for, all 100% of those proceeds go to the women who survived and people for breast cancer awareness, because I have some friends who have survived. And when I called Drew to ask him about that idea, he literally told me today, not only am I going to give you that date, I'm not charging you for the rest of the venue, so your deposit is paid in full this whole event, and I can't wait to be part of it. So I didn't get a chance to tell anybody that today because it happened on my drive home that I was coming back to tell this story, because I'm like, when you think that you're not enough and you question God, why am I in this position? And God, why did you put me here? And I always question my worth. God just showed me today in this fast, in this Esther, girl, I told you was royalty. You about to be it. So not only am I going to be able to give back to my community, I'm still going to get to have this grand, elaborate masquerade ball. And it's probably not going to cost me anything other than the deposit I just put down. And I'm sure I'm going to get that back 100-fold for just the proceeds alone, just to give back to research for breast cancer. Now, my mother passed away from ovarian cancer, but I will tell you, I don't ever see cures. I don't see research for ovarian cancer. So as I tried, and as much as I want to believe that they would use that for some good research, I know what they're doing for breast cancer because I've seen it firsthand with my best friends. So that's my testimony. And if you need to know a reason why you should be in this Worthy Women's Academy, I don't know why you're still on the line, because you should have already been over here signing up. So Miss Juanita should be over here like, oh my gosh, we just had everybody sign up. So ladies, I'm telling you, this will change your world and your mindset, and it will have you walking in places that you never dreamed that you would be able to fit in, all because of one thing: God.
Wow. I knew some of your testimony, but to hear it like this, I'm over here like, I don't even know what to say, because I'm over here, I don't know if y'all saw me over here, I'm like trying not to cry, and I'm seeing Alicia praising God like, this. I feel like I've cried more in this challenge, y'all, than I cry with my ladies on a regular basis. This is why I do what I do, for that reason. Because when I hear that testimony, when I hear everything you're saying, and I'm sitting over here like, me and Elijah getting tickets, we're going. I'm like, I gotta be there. And I'm like, and it's right before the Sis You Were Made for More conference too. And I'm like, you're gonna be able to, because I know you wrote me about wanting to be on stage and stuff like that at the and I wanna celebrate your boldness. She said, and TakiyaA, imagine you didn't create this. I'm trying to be a thug and not cry, Shantae, okay? Man, I'm telling you, and I gotta be real with you, Christy. I didn't want to start the Worthy Woman Academy. I told God, no, I don't want to do it again. I've done memberships. I don't want to do that again. And Amanda said, one of our ladies in our Worthy Woman Academy had got an order for 50 hats in her business. And Amanda said, I'm over here crying while I'm over here pressing hats. You got to crying on people's hats. But I'm telling you, I didn't want to do it, y'all. I had a sis tribe in the past that I'll be honest with y'all, like, I was over women. I like women at a distance, not necessarily I need them close to me. I can hang out with guys and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm having to learn to embrace being a little bit more soft. Now she's still a little okay, but like, I didn't want to do it, but God told me last year, do it, and I kept putting it off. And Alicia, I finally told God, I said, Lord, if it's just one woman, I'll do it. And I started with that one woman. 2 came, and they just kept coming, and they kept coming, and the testimonies I get to see. And when I get to hear y'all's testimonies, and I'm like, man, this is why I do what I do, God, because it's bigger than me. Because there's another woman on the other side of that screen that even though Takiya may say she don't want to do this because she don't want to get hurt again. Girl, bump your feelings. Get hurt again. Because if getting hurt again means that somebody else gets free again, remember how I said on the first day, you were worth the hard. And so, ladies, listen, I'm with Chrissy. I don't really have nothing to say. If you haven't signed up, I don't know what to tell you. You already know you're supposed to be here. So go ahead and just go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. But listen, man, Christy, I'm trying to Christy, I'm like, how am I supposed to follow that? Unmute.
I just had to unmute because I'm putting together, of course, like all of the things for this event. And one of the tickets, one of the big ticket items that I'm going to auction off is going to be a plane ticket, a 2-night stay hotel, and the VIP ticket to your conference. And it's going to be a silent auction. So I just wanted to let you know, because of you, it's going to be above both of us. It's bigger than us.
I'm telling God, I'm like, you didn't tell me I was going to cry in this challenge. Okay. You didn't talk about that. You told me to do it. You didn't say we were going to cry. God. Man, Christy, the day I actually thought I was going to put on some foundation. Okay. I ain't wear no makeup the last 2 days. This, Christy, this is me on the first day of the conference when Dr. Joe comes and speaks. And he's going to be speaking on how to allow God to love you like a child and understanding that he doesn't treat you like one. Y'all, oh my God. What we got in store for Sis You Are Made for More conference, baby. Unique said, I'm just sitting here crying with you. Girl, y'all, can we all just take a moment? Okay. Like, listen. Is it in Dallas? It's in Cincinnati, right? Mm-hmm. We flying places this year, Shantae. We gonna be in and out of plane. Shantae, what are the chances at the nail shop I'm sitting beside a lady that is down from Arizona? A lady at the nail shop from Arizona. And I'm like, I don't ever meet people from Arizona. You just got back from Florida. I'm flying this year. Oh, you flying down for the conference this year. Come on, Lachey. I don't blame you. Me and Eli gonna road trip on one of our things we're doing. Mascara is gone. Oh, listen, somebody said seriously. Mascara is gone, done, lashes too, right? Man. Oh, come on, God, help me. So, ladies, here is my 3-step process when I'm making decisions. Y'all ready? Hey, baby, with Ariel. I like babies. We flying everywhere, right? Y'all, what is it? June, Atlanta, but I'm driving this time. July, y'all, July 20th, one day after Christy's birthday, is when I celebrate 12 years of marriage. And so I don't know what we're doing for that. I know in October we going to Cincinnati. Are the people nice? I went to Philly, and the people in Philly, they were so I feel like they all wanted to fight. Texans, we smile and we wave at you. We'll give you food. Texas, we nicer, I think. I feel like Texas nice. You're driving too. You're driving, Ariel. Man, okay. Here's the 3-step process. Now, you're going to need a whole sheet of paper, right? And I want you to do one of them at the top, one of them in the middle, and one of them at the bottom, because you're going to be filling in things on both of them, okay? We country folks, it's nice. Y'all, For the VIPs at the Sis You Were Made for More conference, right? We're having brisket, ribs, some other stuff on the sides. I know we're having a maple pecan pie. I think some sort of banana pudding. Let me tell y'all something. For you VIPs, I just need y'all to know we about to eat. I told y'all if I do a conference, I'm not one of them piece of chicken and green beans kind of people, okay? Now for Desiree, y'all, because she is the vegan, I'm gonna make sure I have some for her. Okay. She's like, I can eat the sides. But we eat over here, okay? I'm gonna feed. Listen, we gonna eat like how. Listen, Chrissy said you had me at ribs, and then I think Mama, and then Mama's gonna, and we're gonna do. Well, now we will have barbecue chicken. Yeah, we eat. It's like my mama, y'all, my mama Creole. She make like the oxtails for me, fried pork chops on a daily. She left to go back to Houston. She'll be back on Monday. So I got some time to eat a little healthy before she come back. Amanda, I'm just playing, okay? I'm just playing. My health coach is on her today. And so she said, as your coach, I am shaking my head. But I didn't know Amanda. Yeah, Amanda's on TikTok. She's with Toya on TikTok. Yeah, she's here today. She's gonna be having her hats too at the conference. That's what she's wanted me to tell y'all. Um, we can't talk. Yeah, yeah. Okay, we have this one lady. A little side note, real quick. We have this one lady inside the Worthy Woman Academy, right? It's Amanda. And remember, I told y'all yesterday how we have a faith fueled fitness section. Amanda has everybody on an all-you-can-eat water and air diet. This is what she wants us to eat, water and air. So we met her about this because we're like, so she was in the group showing how she had lost, like she's a size 2 now. She told me on the phone. She's a size 2 now, y'all. And I'm like, water and air does you good, don't it? And y'all, this is how funny I am as a client. Our first coaching call, I was on there eating a fried pork chop. But you try to slide it under the Zoom camera into your mouth, like because the camera's here. So if I keep it here, and I'm like, drop the pen. Yes. And she was like, is that bread? Because I don't know about y'all, but I like a good pork chop with some bread and ketchup. And she's like, is that bread? I'm like, well, it sure ain't air or water. So, but yeah, I've been doing good. Okay. I have really done good. I ate some chilaquiles today and I focused on eating more of the eggs. Love the tortillas, but I focus on the eggs and the potatoes and the beans. That's a win for me. And I went to Walmart and I did not buy sweet. You should celebrate me. Juanita, say it with your chest. Were they
I
green
said
and
she
red?
did it. I was there. I was on the phone. She did it. She had showed a lot of restraint in Walmart.
I did. And I didn't get a soda. I got a poppy drink. I'm being actively delivered, y'all. It's active. I'm telling you, I'll be telling God, I say, God, you're daily delivering me daily. It's a daily. Your energy is so contagious. Oh, thank y'all so much. Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all something about me. Who y'all see here is who you get behind closed doors. I've been married to my man for 12 years, and if I don't put on the front for who I've been married to for 12 years, I ain't doing it for people that I'm getting to know. Okay. I am who I am. I am 4'11. I am country. I make my own dictionary. I like to eat. Okay. I like flavorful food. Okay. Put 4-5 seasons that ain't salt and pepper. Hamburger deluxe, Uncle Chris steak seasoning. Won't he do it? Okay. I I am fun. I like to have fun. I like to have a good time. We gonna laugh. If you bring up something, I am the person who my mind sings a song. So I'm gonna bust out singing a song. And I be coming on to our Worthy Woman Academy calls and I'll be like, bear with me. I'll be like, shake it fast, watch yourself, shake it fast. You better show me what you're working with. He touching us, y'all. And they be looking at me like, they can fast watch yourself. Then you went to a praise worship guy. But it's just, this is me. This is who I am all the time. Like, I'm goofy. I'm like, I love to joke. I am so goofy. Y'all, I am 30 years old. And when my 60-year-old mama comes down here, right? I've started to secretly record her because I'm trying to make us a whole TikTok shindig. And I be meddling her. I chase my mom around the house. She's like, "Stop it. You're supposed to be doing all this to your mom." And it is the funniest thing. I am the daughter who hides, and then my mama comes out and I scream because I know she's older and I like to scare her. We got to test that heart out sometimes, right? But this is me. You know what I mean? Like, this is who I am. And yeah, I genuinely do. I just love to have a good time. I mean, I text my team this morning. I said, y'all, why my 10-year-old daughter asked me, "So, mama, you know how when people die, they get cremated?" I was like, "Oh God, we going downhill." Because that's Addie, y'all. It's going to be downhill. And she said, "Mama, can I cremate you and put you in an hourglass so when we play Uno, you can watch us?" I said, "Addie, first off, who wakes up in the morning thinking like this?" Okay? Like I told her, I said, "Baby, you woke up and chose violence. You need to go back to bed and try again." You know them people that need to do a second nap and then wake up and try again? Yeah. And she's like, "Mama, I don't see the problem. At least I'm trying to include you." Like, but you know what? You raise who you are, okay? This is my child. So I told my team this, and then Chrissy gonna say, "Well, at least something, something." So I said, "Don't you at least me?" You know what I mean? But Addie makes up for what I do. She's my harvest on what I do to my mama, y'all. Them seeds been seeded. But y'all, let's get to this 3-point thing. But yeah, y'all gonna find being coached by me. I have fun. I have a good time. I really do. And so now I'm gonna correct you. I'll call you out in cool 2.5 seconds, okay? But at least you know this. Your girl, she fighting for you, okay? And then I be thinking about them babies, okay? Because you can do all you want to do, but them kids, you not passing down to them kids on my watch. Okay? I know what it was like to have to fight the stuff my mama didn't overcome. And if it's on my watch, your kids ain't fighting. Okay. Okay, so here's the 3 things. First, priority, then peace. See, Ariel, you should have had your book ready. You wouldn't have been having to over here give out the whiplashes. And then perspective. Priority, peace, perspective. I vote for turning you into a diamond. Oh, I vote for that too. Yeah. I've already told the Lord how I want to go, Amanda. In Switzerland, just like Thor's daddy when he turned into glitter. You got to watch Thor to know what I'm talking about. Okay. So on priorities, right? So when you're making a decision, the first question you want to ask yourself, what is the most important thing here? So in all these decisions before me, what's the most important thing? Another way to say this is, what is the more important thing here? So right now, is it important for me to get out of debt? If I'm talking about starting my business, okay, what is the most important thing I can do right now? What is going to help you the most in your business right now? And that's what you prioritize. So if you feel like that LLC is the thing that's going to help you the most right now, do that. For me, more so, but and because when you've gone through the journey, you learn. So for me, when I want to grow my business, I hire a coach. Because because somebody else has already done it before, right? That is my shortcut to success. So I'm going to go shortcut route. So when I have business decisions I need to make, I go to my coach and I say, "Okay, hey, so you've already done this." Because why would I need to sit there reading 5 books on how to build a team when I got a coach who didn't already did it? I would rather just go talk to my coach. He didn't read the books for me, so I don't got to write the books. You see what I'm doing now? Getting my time back. So what is the most or what is the more important thing here? Next, okay, on the question of peace, what would cause the least amount of stress? So when you're making that decision, right? What is going to cause you the least amount of stress? So when I'm hiring people on my team, one of the questions, my husband is a whiz when it comes to like hiring and the right questions to ask. And so he always tells me, he said, "Okay, the Bible says you don't go and build unless you have first did what? Counted the cost." So he always said, "Okay, if you, let's say Juanita, okay, if you're hiring Juanita, okay, What are the benefits of hiring her? Is she going to take, so let's say you're asking a question, okay, how could hiring her take stress off my plate? Well, listen, I get more time back with my babies now. And I'm going to tell you something. When I have adequate time with my kids, I am naturally less stressed out. Because when I as a mother get to the end of the night and know that I've changed y'all's lives, but I didn't make no time for my kids, without fail, that bothers me. Because at the end of the day, I sit there and I'm like, yeah, I helped them, but I didn't help my family. And I'm called to my neighbor before I'm ever called to the nations. So for me, it's important to always prioritize my family. Time freedom for me is about being able to be able to say what I do with my time. So take, for instance, tomorrow, I was supposed to record a podcast, but okay, what are my priorities right now? Well, my priorities is that I want to be at all of those intentional moments with my kids, especially as they're younger. My son has Olympics on tomorrow. And so I cancel my meetings and I'm going to go and be with my son. But because I have an assistant, even though I'm off, my business is still going to keep going. So now I see, okay, because of making that decision to hire them, that's going to give me back time where it matters most. So you see what I'm saying? So that gives me less stress. But then I also could say, okay, so then the question is, will this decision increase stress or reduce it? So just so happen right now, I feel like I got to pay everybody. Right now, I have a lot of invoices I got to take care of. And when I'm looking at these invoices, okay, I'm looking at, okay, when I'm looking at whether or not will this increase or reduce stress, okay? So so as we're lining out who we're going to pay in what order, right? I'm going to pay the person who gives me the least amount of stress first, probably. I'm going to pay, now I'm not talking about necessarily on even paying a light bill, right? Because you know to pay your light bill. You know if you don't pay that light bill, you're going to be stressed out thinking about whether or not your kids. So let's say you're weighing it against Fashion Nova card, light bill. Well, yes, this Fashion Nova card is going to give me temporary gratification. But this light bill not getting paid is going to keep me up at night wondering whether or not we're going to be good. And if I don't pay it, I'm going to be sitting here believing God for an unnecessary miracle. All because I wanted to gratify my flesh in the moment. So by not paying this and paying that, I'm going to actually increase my stress. Well, that's not what I'm trying to do. I want to reduce it. So on your piece, will it increase or will it reduce your stress? Does that decision to go and get inventory per se, does that increase your stress or reduce it? Another word could be like, does this take things off my plate or is this adding more stuff to my plate? Is this making me feel more overwhelmed or less overwhelmed? So let's say with Alicia, like she talked about earlier, God telling her to leave the job, right? Okay. What is the most important thing here? To obey God or to stay in fear? Or what is the more important thing here? Now, I also could say this is, okay, well, what is the more important thing here? Obeying God and trusting Him, or trusting God on a level, just not that level yet, because it's still a level of trust, but trusting God and working on building my faith. So when I do leave the job, I'm not now moving to the next step, my peace, and I'm stressed out. You see what I'm saying? Then the next question is, okay, what would cause you the least amount of stress? To stay on a job daily feeling like you're disappointing God, or to leave it and confront the fear of not being able to provide for your family? Because that's really what it's about. So what caused you the least amount of stress? Confronting the fear of providing for your family, or staying on a job feeling like that you're disappointing God. And then that's where I would go. You see? Did that help you? Okay. Now let's go to perspective. What would God desire most in this moment? or in this decision? What does God desire the most? That's where you're going to have to, now this is where you're bringing it to this word, to the word, right? Because one is like, okay, well, God desires for me to be faithful. Well, the Bible does say he blesses the work of your hands. But then I got to ask the question of is, okay, is this work of my hands that I'm doing the work that he called me to? Because he said you can do all things through Christ, which he called you to. Okay, then I got to understand, okay, what would God desire most? Well, God did tell me he has an acceptable, perfect, a good, acceptable, perfect will. Do you want to be in his good? Do you want to be in his acceptable? Or do you want to move to perfect? So perfect would be that you leave the job. But acceptable will be is that you stay there a lot, or let's say good would be that you stay there and you work on building your faith for leaving the job. But then let's say that acceptable will be is that, hey, she's staying there, she's still tithing, she's still giving, she's still doing the basic principles, and she's still doing her best to eventually work towards the next space. You see the levels of that. So the question is God, what is your perspective? So when I was doing this, I wrote, my priority right now is not to spend money, but to invest my money. What are investments? Investments are things that are going to create a return in my life. Spending is oftentimes things that are going to create gratification in your life, but not a return. So, because even, okay, can I tell you something? Y'all, I weighed buying a $20 dress. Sis, $20 ain't going to affect you, but I weighed it because I knew my goals in this season. And I said, okay, well, what is the purpose of me getting this dress? Well, the purpose is that I want to be able to show up. I have a vision of how I show up, right? And this dress goes with how I want to show up on this call today. Okay, then I'm going to get it. So I want to give you the counter to the priorities and peace. So the pushback to priorities, this is going to be the pushback to priorities, right? If I am not operating from priorities, I am operating from self-inflicted pressure. If you're not operating from a place of prioritizing these things in your life, then you're on the opposite, where you are operating from a place of self-inflicted pressure. You see? The pushback to peace. My impatience is one. So your impatience is going to be a pushback to peace. Because even if it will cause less stress, there's still going to be that part of you that's like, I want it now. I want it all. That God doesn't rush. How many of y'all don't like that? You wish God would rush your order like Amazon Prime or something. Even they've been a little shoom-poom lately. They need to get back to whatever they had in place. I like them earlier pages. Okay. Next. Let me see what I've done. So, we're making decisions. For those of you who stand against ADHD and you struggle with impulsivity, wait a week. Or wait a day. If you can't do a week, do a day. And if you still feel led to do it, come back to it. Now, but remember, now let me tell you something about this though. If you struggle with procrastination though, because this is not a tool to aid your procrastination. So if somebody's asking you, hey, can you do this? And you don't know which way to go at that moment, hey, let me have 24 hours. And then if you can't have 24 hours, say no. But sis, what? So that's where you then you bring that next thing that's when, or you back through the process. Y'all let me know in the chat if that helped you. Help you, Shantae? Shantae, I'm excited to meet with you today. I'm proud of you. Yes, yes, yes. Let me know in the chat how this helped you. Y'all, I know we went a little bit longer today, but today's our last day together. I'm gonna miss y'all. Those of you who haven't already chose to join the Worthy Woman Academy, I'm gonna miss you. Yes, but what if you sin against ADHD and procrastination? You already know the answer to that because you're inside of my Worthy Woman Academy. And literally, we talk what every day now? Chrissy. You know what I say, Christy? Then what if you struggle with that? Then hire me as your one-on-one coach, and I guarantee you, I will hold you so accountable you won't deal with it no more. I'm gonna tell you now, that's the because I'm gonna be on you like white on rice. I told you, my ladies not Worthy Woman Academy, I'll give them an assignment, be like, you got a week. Ladies in the Worthy Wealthy Woman program, you got a day. I want to start a podcast and don't know how. Get inside the Worthy Woman Academy, girl. We'll teach you and we'll support you too. See, that's the thing that you get when you get in the Worthy Woman Academy. You get a sisterhood of ladies who is ready and willing to support you. Every single Fridays, we have a thread. We're on that thread. You post all your businesses, all your links, everything. So if you got a podcast, we showing up to the podcast. Man, if you just made content, you like, y'all, I'm about to post my first content and I'm so nervous. Then you know what we gonna do? We about to go show up for you. Because we are family here. I don't do the competition. I don't do cattiness. I don't do drama. I will cut it out. Come on, I love that. Yeah, we show up for one another. We celebrate each other. I have so many coaches in there. And so y'all have two different opportunities today. That if you want to be able to continue your growth journey, that you want to continue on this path to be able to develop the character that you need, to be able to build that business, start the business, and get access to all the tools that goes with this, right? And have that, is that on your webpage to join? Yeah. Hold on real quick. Ever since I got gastric sleeve, when I get hungry, and I'm hungry, I have to cough. It's a little ghetto, ain't it, right? But y'all have two options. You can either get inside the Worthy Woman Academy, right? You can get Worthy Wealthy Woman. Now the price is $5,000 to work with me for 3 months. You get 12 weeks where you are working with me one-on-one, or you can work with me for 6 months. And so whichever option that you decide, just let us know. My team is here. I'm going to let Juanita take over. She's going to let y'all know everything that you need so you can take your next step. Because listen, destiny decides. Come on, destiny decides. Learning that decisions I make can lead me to Papa God given destiny or away it. So in your next steps, are you going to go towards or away? And ladies, I'm going to put the information on the screen. I know some of you maybe have been waiting to today to sow into yourself. And so I'm going to put that on the screen where if you desire to sow, you can sow. And then you'll have all the links as well to get signed up for whatever it is that you feel like God is calling you to. And for those of you who do want to be able to work with me one-on-one, I can set up a call with you personally if you desire to. I don't mind meeting with y'all. Only those who want to work with me one-on-one, if you want to set up a call, we can meet together because I do realize the investment you're getting ready to make. I'm not oblivious to the investment. And so I don't mind jumping on a call with you, sitting down with you. And like I say, my assistant, she's here and she'll get us all set up. Okay. Ladies, I'm so proud of all of you. Seeing all of you getting signed up. All of you taking. Yeah. For those of you, Betty asked the question that for those of you who get signed up today, will you be able to get into the hot seat coaching tomorrow? Oh no, the hot seat coaching tonight. Yes, you will. We have hot seat coaching tonight at 5:00 CST time. And so if you get signed up, yes, you do get access to that today. And now on our hot seat coaching, that's where you're able to ask personalized questions. And so each and every one of you get to submit a question, and then me or someone from my team is going to answer that question. Come on, Juanita. I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to let you take over.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for this, this last day in the Esther challenge. I don't know about you ladies, but I've definitely learned so much, and I work with this woman one-on-one. So that says a lot. So I'm just gonna answer a few of your questions. I know who is that? The one-on-one link is in you can get that via the Worthy Woman Academy link. It's under I can't hear you. Are you talking?
Actually, hold on. I need her. Can Shawana, can you stay behind after everybody's done so I can get you the correct link for that?
Okay.
Because I need to update the link first.
Okay, cool. Does anybody have any questions? If so, you could put them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions regarding the Worthy Woman Academy, the conference. We do need volunteers and more vendors. So I did put the link in the chat. I'm trying to log into TikTok now to put these links in TikTok. Give me 1 second. Trying to do 5 things at one time. So yeah, if you do join the Worthy Woman Academy today, I know we had like 4 ladies sign up today. I was getting emails back to back to back. So you guys will be able to come to the hot seat coaching call. If you don't have a question, that's okay. Once we go live in the Kajabi community, you'll get a notification saying that we're going live for the hot seat coaching call, which is at 5 p.m. This evening, Central Time. If you're on Eastern Standard Time, that's 6 o'clock. So yeah, and if you do have questions, those of you who did just join the Worthy Woman Academy, please stay behind, because I can turn this into an onboarding call, to be completely honest. Let's see.
Listen, hold on, y'all, real quick. Let me get this link fixed and stuff. Look at y'all. We getting people volunteering. And if anybody want to get their tickets for the Sis You Are Made for More conference too, I think we got
put that in there as
too.
well.
Let me fix this real quick and then we could just make it easier on everybody.
Okay, please. And I'll put that in there as well.
CJ, where are you located at? Let me know in the chat. Wow, look at all of you. Somebody just got a VIP ticket. Oh, Christy, you bought the VIP.
Christy.
Come on. Look at God. Love this. Also, too, y'all, there's something I told y'all I would do, and I'm a woman of my word. And so I'm gonna do that. Give me just a moment to get all these things done, and then I'm gonna do that. So I need y'all to do a favor for me. If you can come to the conference, if you cannot come, don't put your name there. If you could come to the conference, right? Put your name in the chat because we're going to be giving away a free general admission ticket. And so I want to give away a ticket to somebody. So if you could actually come, it is in Plano, Texas. So it's in Dallas. Put your name in the chat. Those of you on Zoom, only people on Zoom, only Zoom people. You know how many stay-at-home moms I coach? You do realize I'm technically a stay-at-home mom too, right? I just own businesses out of being one. Somebody wrote me that they are stay-at-home mom. And I'm like, listen, she said, I'm on the sign-up page. Come on, you can do it. Y'all, I coach stay-at-home moms. I was a stay-at-home mom for 8 years where I didn't like necessarily do nothing besides hair and stuff. And I posted content, made content, but I didn't monetize. Now I'm monetized and I wouldn't monetize always.
We just had another
You
lady
did
sign
it?
up.
You
Yep.
did it? You did it, Erica?
Yeah, I just saw the email. She's in.
Where's Betty? Betty? Betty invited her. That's Betty's sister. You hear that, Desiree? That's Betty's sister. Oh, I love it. Come on, just book my consult to join your academy. Come on. And y'all, you get your first month for free in the Worthy Woman Academy. All you got to do is just go to thesisyouneed.co. You get your first month for free. I got to meet you. So I am down in Mahia. Betty, let's see if we can set up a date. I could come have lunch with the two of you. I'll drive down to Dallas. It's only an hour and a half away. Set up a date. I want to meet her. Because I know the steps she just take. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I know that was not easy at all, but you did it. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Y'all could just see me over here trying to multitask, okay? Can you DM me the number I'd asked for when I tell you the calculations, Desiree, earlier? I'm setting that up now. Remember the number I'd asked you for earlier? Oh, I'm excited for you. Girl, I get it. Y'all, when I was a stay-at-home mom, um, so you don't have to book the consult to join the academy. No, you can just go to thesisyouneed.co and then you're going to see where it says join for free, something like that, and you'll get your first month free. But y'all, I remember when I was a stay-at-home mom and yeah, we couldn't afford it, but God gave me a vision and we were doing it. And so y'all, I remember I was so scared and I joined my first, like similar to what we do. It's not the same, very different, but similar to what we do. And I did it. And I was so scared, y'all. I was so scared. And I'll never forget when I got like my first certification, because they would give like these certifications, like kind of saying you did it kind of thing. And man, so I know where you're at, Erica, when you're feeling like, yeah, yes, yes. Okay, I got the link for you. So now I can put the stuff on the screen that I'm trying to put on the screen. Shawan, I got the link for you now, but I still do want you to stay behind because I really want to meet you. Because listen, when somebody works with me one-on-one, I give them my personal phone number. And I do not just give out my personal phone number unless you're on my team. And even there are still people there. And so I want to know who I'm meeting. You know, I want to talk with you, get to know you, everything. Because I love one-on-ones. I get to do life with y'all. I get to see and y'all, let me tell y'all what I'd be proud of too, my one-on-one clients. When I be seeing them at them one-on-ones, and even my Worthy Woman Academy ladies, when I be seeing y'all at the one-on-ones, you got that baby right there. I'm like, baby, you better show up with that baby on your hip, okay? You better show up. You better show up with your baby on your hip. Okay, so I'm gonna put the stuff back on the screen now. Give me just a second. Okay, Juanita, I'm gonna let you take it back over.
I was trying to unmute. We just had another lady sign up. That's
Come
six people.
on.
6 people today.
So we've had 10 new ladies so far, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Come
I'm gonna
on.
schedule a group onboarding call with all of them for those who don't stay behind. I'm gonna stop recording. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.